Top of the day to you peeps. Monday. I don't have anything. Only work order I had was a light bulb out in the hallway and a backed up sink. Went over there, checked out, ran the water for like 10 minutes. Nothing backed out. Nothing backed up, I mean. Anyways, so had a little bit of snow this weekend. Nothing major. About 3 inches. Was able to get that cleaned up fairly easy. Took my little old power broom and my little snowblower here. Got it all cleaned up, and then I went around this morning because the snow came, or the truck came through and blew it all up on the sidewalk. Went out there and took care of that real quick. But, so I don't have any work to do today. It's too cold to do anything else as far as moving that stuff out of the office and putting it in shit. It's too cold. It's like 30 degrees outside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and work on the snowblower. The snowblower last year I had this belt blow out. It burned up because I ran over one of those shoe scratchers. But my problem now is after it runs for about maybe an hour, then my drive belt starts slipping. It slips to the point where it won't even pull itself. So we're gonna tear this apart and put a new one on there. I got a new one laying over there, and I also have a new cover for this because I lost the last one. That's my bad. So we get to tearing this thing apart, man. Woohoo! I'll do time lapse. So what I have to do, I have to take this screw out and one on the other side. Actually, there's two over there, and this whole thing just slides off. But I gotta disconnect the rod so that it's not hemming me up. We'll take that off real quick. It's easier just to pull this pin out, and then this rod comes out of my way. But because I'm notorious for losing stuff, I'm gonna put that pin rod back on there so I don't lose it. Cool. Easy peasy. That's out of the way. Now we'll take these bolts out. We got 2 1/2 inch. Got 2 on each side. Oh. Take those 2 out. One on each side. Now the front is disconnected from the back. So what I have to do is just wiggle it out. But your belt, your wire for your tensioner is right there in the front, so you gotta take that off. Not a big deal. Just gotta get it in the right angle, that's all. Like pulling a fish's hook out of its mouth. I got you, baby. And that does have a, the belt is gonna hold it on. Hopefully it don't fall over, but we'll get that belt off real quick. You just spin it. Oh, yeah, easy. Get the belt off. Now the two are basically disconnected. Yep, there we go. It's a little leaned up against this. I have to keep it from falling too far. Okay. Woohoo! It's got like a little groove right here on each side that the bottom of the pole, the front pulley lays on. So, it's got a screw on it. Bolt. No, that's a pin. How does that come out? Hey, it's right there. Take this screw out. It looks like that keeps it from. Oh, okay. I see. Take this screw out, and I should be able to pull it out, or this bolt out. And I should be able to tilt it out to get that belt off. Because that belt is done, son. That is a 3/8 bolt. Let me get an extension on that so I can hit it. Because I don't like doing anything manual. You know what I'm saying? crank it, power up. There we go. Now that's out of the way. There's no, now there is a tensioner on that, my bad. That tensioner right here. Cool, it's got tensioner there in the front. So now, let's see if I can get that off. Okay, it's stationary. So I should be able to see if it's a 3/8 or not. Yep, it's 3/8. We'll put a pry bar on it. I'll find my small pry bar. Pre-bar, where's my pre-bar? Close enough. Oh. It's kind of tight little shop in here. Okay. Yeah, that boy. I can get it off, but I can't get it out from behind it. Huh. I can definitely get it off. I might have to take this main out. I better do. Gotta take that main out to get that by, because the belt won't go around this. Well, it is a 15/16. I get the little DeWalt impact up like a champ. That DeWalt impact, man, 12 volt, man, that thing's crazy torque. Crazy torque. So we'll get back around here. Yep. Hey.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
That one down there is done.
Cool beans, brother.
And I never pulled the plate covers off, so
Yeah.
you don't have to come back on.
Well, that's awesome sauce.
And all the shells are still up. When you walk in there, there's nothing for you to do.
Well, that's awful nice of you.
Yeah.
I
I ended up having to put a coat on that whole, everything I did ceiling on.
Yeah?
I had to coat it because you could see it when you stood at the front door. You could see where I coated in.
Yeah.
It's just a slight bit different color.
Right.
Everything's done down there.
I've never done this before. To replace this belt. I've got it. I've got the pulley off.
Pulling the pulley up.
They can't. It won't go up. I just now broke that bolt off. Nope, that's not a nut. That's a keeper ring.
That's it.
Yeah. So, no, that's to hold this guard on. That's the tensioner puller. So, just fucking with it, trying to figure out how to get this off. I'm just trying to get the belt around it. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. I'm figuring, I don't know what's keeping that fucking in place though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's just weird. Bunch of weird shit. I know it's a big old nut in the way, but
I got it out of there.
it's like a fucking serpentine belt from hell, ain't it? Yeah, it would run great, man, for a couple hours. But I swear to you, every time I turn it off and take it to Robert Hawk, man, that freaking belt drive would stop. It would just sit and whine.
You want this one?
Yeah, it's the tensioner underneath it. There's, almost got it.
Oh, you gotta go across that tensioner? Ah.
You gotta be on the side.
Yeah.
There we go. Looks like a win, bro.
Should be.
Almost, there we go. Cool beans. I still gotta knock it back through the hole and all that good stuff. I get you loose off. Now to get the bolt off, or the little off. Appreciate it, man. Oh, that's a, well, ain't that a bear?
Yeah, that'll be getting that shaft put up in there.
Come on, there we go. Ah, boy. 2 heads are better than one. Woo-hoo. 2 heads are always better than one. Especially when it comes to mechanical bullshit.
Oh yeah, I've been buying mechanical stuff all my life.
Yep.
Dad was a mechanic. They worked on my car since I was young.
That was pretty funny. That Don the painter. He's a mechanic. You know, we're all mechanics of some sort. You know, me and him. He's does mechanical. Working on his car all the time, and so do I. So we're old school, man. We break down a freaking 350-inch block and put it back together, no problem. Anyways, that was pretty. He couldn't resist. He had to put his hands in it. Amen. God bless him. I appreciate it. I didn't have to put my hands in. Every once in a while, man, you get a blessing. I'm gonna take it as a blessing. So we got it back together. So all I gotta do is mash it back, put the bolts in it, and then we got that new cover. Like I said, it's got little fingers that stick out, and then on the chute itself it has little fingers. I'm pretty sure that's the only bolts I took out. Yep, just a dry belt. You lift this up, slide it back. It goes right on them teeth. There it goes. Easy peasy, man, just like that. And then we got washer nut. A couple of these on each side. Done. Now I got all my belts are replaced now. All my belts are good. I think that goes on the bottom, bro. Nope, it goes on top. Right in that groove. Yeah, so all my belts are good now. This has had better days. But we'll see if we can get this cover on real quick. Of course, it didn't come with freaking screws like it's supposed to. Somebody's blowing my phone up. Let's see what we got here. This is supposed to go down and around, just like so. Looks like it's 2 screws. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of these. Cause I can go to the hardware store and get a new. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a couple of these little screws right here. What happened was last year, because that belt blew up, is I took this cover off and the 2 screws and I laid it up here on the bench. And for like 6 months, man, I kept moving it around. And I still don't know where I did with it. You know. So I ended up having to buy a new one. This piece of plastic costs like 40 bucks. So we'll make sure we get that back on there. So I need to go to the hardware. Give me a couple of these bolts. So since I'm gonna go to Lowe's to get a couple of these little bolts, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some oil. We'll go ahead and do an oil change on this thing. I'm not gonna go too much farther than that right now, because come fall or come spring when it warms up outside, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it apart. Like I said a minute ago, pull it apart and pressure wash it out. And if there's any areas where there's a little bit of rust, go ahead and sand that stuff down, put a coat of primer on it, and then sand that again and again, put a coat of paint on it. Because you can't just primer stuff, man. You gotta put a coat of paint on it. Because primer, believe it or not, like on metal, if you just primer it, let it go, it'll actually absorb moisture right behind that. So cool. Let's go get some screws, man. This way. And the ones I got have a big washer on it. It's the only ones I could find. So I hope this washer's not too big. Hey, that works perfectly. It's got a big old washer on the end of it. So that'll help to keep that plastic from getting busted up. I don't want that plastic coming loose. Well, almost all of your snow blowers, lawnmowers, stuff like that. I just also happen to have a thing of oil. Anyways, what it is, you got a drain right here. Let's see if I can find something to drain that oil into so I can measure it, see how much I got. I'll just use this little bucket here to catch the oil. Oh my gosh, dude, that oil's syrup. Wow. Wow. Well, we're gonna have to let that sit and run. Yeah, that's no good. Wow, I wonder when the last time somebody changed the oil on that. Look at that, that's a pin line. Just syruping out of there. So we're gonna let that run for a while. Might just let it run overnight. See what happens, man. I can't blame that on nobody. I can blame it on myself because I should have changed that last year and I totally forgot all about it. But I'm gonna let that go overnight and let that drip out because the dipstick says it's got about that much oil in it on the dipstick. Yeah, so it might be just a plug. I'm gonna let that drain out overnight, and then tomorrow I'm gonna take that tube out of the machine or out of the engine and make sure it's not clogged up. Back here on this snow blower, show you how much oil I got. Looks like it dripped back a little bit, back on the machine, then down. It's not a lot of oil, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow some cleaner through there, like brake cleaner, because it'll break that oil up in there. And I'm even gonna blow it down through the tube, the inlet tube, and let that drip out. That's not a lot of oil, man. That's not a lot of oil at all. So that's what we'll do on that. I'm not gonna hose it down. I'm just gonna spray a little in there to clean that out a little bit. Get that excess out of there. Then I can drain it back. See? See how much more oil's coming out of there? Because all that does is, it's just brake cleaner. It'll break that sludge up a little bit. Get it out of there. Whoa, on the floor. Yeah, that's all it's doing. It's just breaking that oil down. A little bit of sludge in there. Gotta get that out, boys. That ain't good. I think we'll be fine on that now. I don't think I'll go to extended blowing it the other way. It's just get that. I want that sludge out of the bottom of the motor. So I think we'll be all right with that. I don't need to go to extent of blowing a whole bunch in there, because that's down inside the crank. Let's see how fast it goes through there. That's fuel. Whoops, got a fuel leak. Don't tip her over, man. She'll start leaking gas out on you. But okay, so we'll go ahead and put the cap back on it and clean her up a little bit. So what I emptied out that container, cleaned up a little bit, so I know about how much oil was in there, approximately, because I don't want to have to guess. So I'm gonna pour the new oil in here to approximately the same level as it was, and that way I know I'm pretty close to being on the mark of the right amount of oil. So we'll start with that. I used old trunnel. Put the trunnel in there. and we'll go from there. Big deal. Like I said, this will just give me the basics. That's a whole lot better run time versus the way it was. That thing was like sludge. So now we'll check the oil level, make sure that I'm not too high or too low, and go from there. A little dipstick. And it says I'm just barely on there, so I'll add a little bit more. We'll get that finalized out and we're good to go, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plug out. Double check the plug. See how dirty it is. It's not bad at all. It's not, I don't have a bunch of gimp on there. It's actually not too bad. And it's just checkup. Stuff I should have done the first of the year. But you know how we are, man. We get busy and forget to do stuff. The reason why I'm really kind of hammered on this is because we got about 3 to 6 inches of snow coming tonight. So I just figured it'd be a good time to get it done now versus snow hitting here. So yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, yeah, it's the property's tool. You know, our responsibility is to take care of stuff like this. You know, because if you maintain it, man, it just makes your life easy. I do need to check the air pressure, because the other thing I had a problem with was as I was going, it wanted to go to the left a little bit. That's usually an indication that tire pressure's off. So if you got one tire, even though they're small tires, it may look full, but it also may be low on air. So I'll check pressures real quick. So the air gauge, or the number on the side of the tire, says it should be about 18 psi. It looks like I got 5. So that's I got 20. I'm gonna go with that. The other thing I always use whenever I'm doing snow blowing, snow shoveling, stuff like that, is I always got myself a nice pair of mittens. I've had these mittens here for freaking ever. This set here has like, it's almost like it's a glove, like a 5-finger glove inside the mitten. The only thing I don't like about that is it's real hard, difficult to put a set of hand warmers in there. Now my other mittens, which are laying right here, my other mittens are kind of small. What is this? Northern Fingers? Hot Fingers. These are kind of small mittens, but I have a lot of room inside. My fingers are not inside a glove. They're just all together. And I have plenty of room to put the finger warmer, hand warmers inside. What I usually do is I'll put the hand warmer in there first, and then I'll slide my hand in there so that the hand warmer's on top of my fingers versus in the palm. If you put it in the palm of your hand, then it's harder for you to grip onto stuff. I figured that one out real quick, but I got a whole case of freaking hand warmers because my fingers get cold quick. But anyways, you can get them on that. You can get hand warmers, man, on Amazon really cheap. So whenever I'm out running something like this, snowblower, something that's got a lot of volume to it, a little high-pitched squall to it, even a snowblower or a leaf blower, anything that's a high pitch, I always wear ear protection. Always wear ear protection because I've already lost my hearing in my left ear. But these are nice, man. These are 3M, and they're Bluetooth headset, and they're noise cancellation, man. You put these bad boys on, you don't hear hardly anything. I can still hear the machine running, but it softens the blow so that my ears are not all pierced. Because you got to take care of yourself, man. You know, these companies, they don't care about you, brah. Remember that. They don't care about you. So my other little trick to the trade is I bought this last year. This is a basically it's a miniature snow thrower, but they call it a power shovel. Anyways, it runs off of a 60 amp battery or 60 volt battery. It's a Toro, my bad. It's a Toro. And I'll do the video on this. I'll show you guys how I use that. The only thing I use this for is doing the steps, so I don't have to shovel, and any areas where I can't get the big snowblower in there. It's actually pretty nice. I used it this, 2 days ago on the snow. I took it over to the other property, and they've got a L-shaped, well, actually U-shaped sidewalk, and I didn't want to take the big snowblower, so I took that over there, because over there it was about 3 inches, but it was soft snow, and I was able to just walk the sidewalk real quick and blow it off, get the stairs, the entryways to each apartment. Ended up being pretty cool. I love it. It helps me out, but it's not cheap, man. I got about $600 wrapped up in that thing because I bought an extra battery, and the battery's like $200 for a battery. It's not cheap, man, but it saved my back. So I'm ready for this next snow, which will be tonight. Going into tomorrow morning, we're supposed to get about 3 to 6 inches of snow, and then about midday, we're gonna have that warm rain come through. Except for, it depends on where that battle line is. You know, that ice snow mix line. I'm thinking it's going to drop just a hair farther south. If it does, it'll just clip us. I won't get any. I hope not. Because there ain't nothing worse than getting ice or wet rain or rain on top of snow. Especially about 4 or 6 inches of snow. So, or 3 to 6. We'll see what happens.